Hey, you guys, just getting my last little things organized here. Okay. Are you guys with me? Are you with me? Fantastic. So you guys might be asking just on the title alone, right? That if your goal is to be well and to live long, then you can't do it alone. And here's why. So if you think about through time, we've lived in communities. People weren't ever made to actually live alone. And today, social isolation, like true living alone, is one of the biggest detriments, probably the biggest detriment to living well and living long. So having community, being with people, whether that's family, friends, like-minded community, it's critical to be well and live long. So let's kind of break this down a little bit. Those of you that are with me live, oh my gosh, it went from a beautiful day yesterday to like a kind of a cold and rainy day today. So I'm actually drinking. Have you guys ever had Element? It's my electrolyte drink, but this one you drink hot. Here, let me show you. This is actually it. Okay. I'm not selling it. It's called Element. Comes in these little packets. And normally I would drink it in cold water like this as an upside down so you guys can see. Anyway, it's LMNT. Says element, but it's really LMNT. This is chocolate salt. Drink it hot. Oh my gosh, it is delicious. It's almost like dessert. It truly is like dessert, I have to say. So for an afternoon warm up snack, it's amazing. I just happened to get these just came in the mail. This is my second favorite flavor. I don't drink this one hot. I drink it cold. And this one is mango chili. So it's like sweet, spicy, salty. Okay. I'm like, I don't know about this. Second favorite. So I go back and forth. Chocolate salt, chili mango chili. Oh my God, they're so good. So I think maybe I can drink it now. Oh yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I've always liked salt. And actually in my DNA, I can have salt. It's fine. Some people have to be careful with salt. I'm good. Isn't that interesting? You can find that out through your DNA. Anyway, so, okay, I've got my drink. So speaking of being in community or alone. So when you're alone, the social isolation, you can really drop down your mental health. When you stop having conversations with people, then you stop being curious, wondering why, wanting to learn, wanting to improve. And when you're with people, it's like this constant dialogue, communication, evolution, wanting to be better. What did they do? Support. So being in community is absolutely essential to support those wellness, well-being, vitality behaviors. So tell me out there, the handful of you guys that are live now, some of you can see me, some of you are just listening to me. Let me know if you're like, yes, I'm in community, I'm in groups, they help me thrive, they help me stay accountable. I'm in one for my business, and the four of us ladies, me and three others, just decided after our program we were together to stay together. And it is when one of us is having a challenge or is down, the others are going, right? And when the others are like, I need help, somebody else is there for support and for help. So when you have a knit community, doesn't need to be 500, right? Can be 2 or 3, it could be 500, but enough closeness that you are willing to be vulnerable, willing to reach out. That's what we need in this community, because it's those people that have your back for accountability, for guidance, for help, and to help you celebrate your successes when things are going well, and to be by your side and hold your hand when things aren't. So being in some sort of community is absolutely critical. Now you may say, Kellie, I'm in this organization, I'm in that organization, I'm always with people, I'm in community. The community matters. And when I say the community matters, they need to be in line with your passions, beliefs, philosophies. So right now we're talking wellness. That means they need to eat the way you eat. Now, if you're allergic to something, I'm not talking about like a thing, right? But they need to eat with wellness in mind. So like they're not the person that, wants to go through the Jack in the Box drive-through. They're the person that says, let's cook at home. Or you go out to eat and ask, what's on the salad dressings? What do you fry your, potatoes in for the oils? Or do you have alternatives for me for XYZ? You want to be with people that are like-minded in the behaviors you want to emulate. So I always say, ask the question, what would a well person do? What would a healthy person do? The healthy person would make this choice. So it could be food, it could be movement, it could be sleep, it could be small habits, it could be mindset and meditation. Like, do they think you're cuckoo and wacko? Maybe that's not the right group. So being in community is not like an option, it's essential. It's actually key. And in that community, you want somebody who knows a little more than you, somebody who's a step ahead, has done the way, had done the work. So maybe that's where I say 100% in our lives, if you're working on an area to improve, you need a coach. And when I say a coach, that's like a vague term, but you need somebody being accountable for, holding you to the fire, saying, no, you need to do this. It's not a maybe, okay, I couldn't get to it. No, life is life. Time is time. It's what you make of it. You will get things done. So it is our default as humans to take the easy route, to disable, do it tomorrow, to not mañana, or I'll start when. Or you start something all gung-ho, and then day 3, 4, 5, we decide, I can just take a break for a day. And if you take that break for a day, especially early on, getting back on track, so hard. So hard. So that community is essential. So why am I telling you this? Well, the other part of being well, when you say you can't do it alone, is you can go to your doctor, your chiropractor, your massage therapist, one by one, and they can give you a piece of wellness for you. The doctor says, well, your labs don't look great. You need X. Take this X. The chiropractor says, something seems to be amiss, right? But they're not talking to your doctor. You go to the massage therapist and she's like, why you have all this tension in your back and your neck? They're not talking to your doctor or your chiropractor. So then they might be addressing it from another way. Your friend might say, you don't look good. This is what I do for my sleep. Maybe you need to do this. So you're getting advice for multiple people here and here and here, but there's no thread. And there's nobody that says, oh, if your blood work's showing up like this, that's why this is tight. That's why you're irritable. That's why you're struggling to lose weight, right? Who's tying it all together? Who's leading the team? Well, that's what's happening to the majority of us out there is nobody is leading our wellness team. No one. Because you need to have a data-driven approach with coaching and accountability. You've got to have those two. If you don't, 99.5, I'll say, % of the time, you will fail. There are rare people out there, very rare people that say, I don't need somebody. I can be accountable to myself. And I may not be the best at whatever it is, but I know I will outperform because I am the consistent king. I'm the consistent queen. no matter what, I do this day in and day out and day in and day out. Maybe that's you. But if you're anything like me, or most of the women that I hang out with and I know, that's not the case. Now, only to learn about like, oh, these are good wellness things you should do. That's interesting and cool. And maybe you try certain things, but without having data, meaning what does your body need? But we don't know what it needs until we know where it's at. What does your blood work say? Extensive, detailed peek behind the curtain, right? Currently, right now, what's going on in your body? What is your gut saying? Do you have leaky gut? What's going on? Because we really need to heal that gut before we're going to work on other things, right? Like fixing your adrenals or your other hormones. Maybe your metabolic health, your insulin and glucose is all over the place because your cortisol is all over the place and you don't know how to manage your stress. Do you see that we need the data of where you're at to develop a data-driven plan? And then the plan, you can't do it alone. Implementation, correcting, making adjustments, repeating, trying again, takes time and takes effort and adjustments. So this is something anybody can go get tests done and tell you what the result of that test is as of the moment. But what are you going to do about it? How are you going to implement it? What effect does it have on other things? And what are small changes to do to help improve those numbers, right? To improve your gut, to improve your blood work, to improve your body's ability to convert your neurotransmitters, right? Maybe they're so whacked because you're not sleeping at all. You think you are because you're in bed for maybe 7 hours, but you're not getting any deep restorative sleep. And all they're trying to do is throw hormones at you. Well, if you're not sleeping and you're not making all those conversions, your body is so out of whack, it can't even now process the hormones that you're being given. So you can't just look at one thing. That is not how the body works. So I know sometimes people think like, well, I don't know. There's so many health coaches out there. There's so many life coaches out there. Why would I need to pay for a program? I've got health insurance. Well, if you want to just go have that health insurance, you're going to get the results of a test that might not be complete. And then what are you going to do about it? And who's going to help you make adjustments? And who's going to help you implement? And who's going to help you make those changes? No one. Now, when you're talking about concerns, questions, things like that, who's going to help you? No one. So I love the fact that people can go now purchase testing or go to a doctor and just say, hey, just run this Dutch test for me. Let's find out if I have leaky gut. Let's find out this. But you're missing the whole picture. We as a human being and as a cellular person, right? We act as an integrative whole. So you can't discount anything coming in, how you're behaving, what you're doing for your habits, what you're eating, what your mindset is like, how you're managing your stress. Have you gotten rid of your trauma? All of that matters, but you might think it doesn't. So if you want to get well, this is my like, let's go, right? And why is it now? It's now, you guys. You're like, what's now, Kelly? Well, hold on. I wish you could taste this right now. I'm like, I don't sell this or I'm not like affiliated with it whatsoever. But I would recommend it. So you can go straight to the company Element, or I think you can even maybe get it off Amazon, Thrive Market, all those different places, right? So get it wherever. So good. I like it because there's a balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium all in it. And I'm somebody who doesn't always drink it daily, but a few times a week or even half a glass or something just to keep up with my electrolytes a little bit because we're all not so great. And a lot of the water and other things we're drinking doesn't have enough of the natural, things in it for us. So we all need support. Okay. So drum roll is, you guys, is why now? If you look at aging, for every day that goes by, where you are in your life today, it's going to take you a minimum of 2 to 3 days to undo if you didn't have a good day. If you didn't eat well, sleep well, whatever that may be, it's not just like, oh, I'll make it up tomorrow. No, you're behind the 8 ball. So now you need like 3 good days to offset your bad day. But what if you have 1 or 2 bad days a week? Then if you do 5 good days, you're not even moving the needle forward. You're like just keeping up. So most of you where you are now, you're not doing it 5 days a week. And I don't mean like of a day, nothing has to be perfect, right? It's kind of like the 80-20 rule. Maybe you can eke your days sometimes to 90-10 of not doing everything the best. It's okay. But you need to ask yourself, what would a well person do? If I want to live in vibrancy and vitality and have fun and longevity, and for me, like, this is what my life wants. This is what I dream of wanting my life to look like. I want you to think for a minute, what does your dream life look like? So I want to be on my house at the lake, having my coffee, going down, taking my grandkids water skiing. I want to be able to like go to the mountains, take my whole family snow skiing. And if I choose to still go snowboarding or snow skiing, go away and I can take care of all the grandkids because I'm physically able, I'm mentally able. I have the financial resources, the health and wellness resources, the mental capacity, and maybe even my great-grandchildren, right? So when I'm 80 and 90, I'm not like in bed, somebody's taking care of me. I'm living life well until the day I'm not here. I want to be able to travel with my family all over the world with ease. To reverse engineer that dream to make it happen. So it's now. That means now, because you don't want to end up at 75 with cognitive decline or 65 with cognitive decline or so many aches and pains that it's going to take you so long to reverse it. You're almost just maintaining it and not getting better, right? Because the longer we're aging, the longer it is to reverse. So you need to start now. So all the excuses in the back of your mind, like, I don't have the time, I don't have the resources, when my kid's this, when it's the right timing, there is never the right timing. Actually, that's wrong. I'll tell you when the right timing is. The right timing is now. Make a decision. If you have that dream, make the decision now because you don't want to wait. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever gotten a phone call by a friend or family member and they've had a serious diagnosis and you're like, oh my God, what? How did that happen? You're saying to yourself. I can't believe that person, you're saying to yourself. Does that ever happen? Yeah, I think it's probably happened. Well, guess what? What if that person is you? What if that person is you're on the other end of that phone conversation having to tell your friend or your family member? It's like close. It's not far away because all of us are in this state of what's called dis-ease, meaning our body should be in balance, right? Like this. And sometimes our body tips like this, sometimes it tips like this, but you never want it to completely tip. Then we are like, oh my gosh, now we're diagnosed because our symptoms are so bad, it's labeled as disease. But we're all in a state of dis-ease. It's just a matter of how much. So if you want to take control and reduce your risk of disease, then you need to say, well, then I want to act and be like a well person. And a healthy person needs to go get the data done so you know exactly where your body stands, what your gut's like, what your hormones are like, what your blood work is like, what your glucose is like, how your sleeping is like. You need to know the data. Then you need to know what to do about it and how to adjust it and how to monitor it, and then revisit that and build wellness routines into your life to stay well. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, I hope it does. And there's so much out there that it's like, how do you create urgency that it's now? Like, do it now. Well, I don't know. Paint that picture of what you dream and imagine that you're the one that's got to make that next phone call to your friend or your family member, that you're the next person with that chronic disease or illness. I don't think you want it to be you. So if you don't want it to be you, then you need to make it this. I want you guys to know that Dr. Heidi Rossabal and I have officially opened up the doors to our program called Elevated Health, Concierge Wellness for Women. It's a data-driven wellness approach that holds people accountable in this beautiful container of women that all want to put their wellness first. Now, I think that may be you. Now, a lot of you if you're on top of your A game for your health, imagine what you could do for your business. Imagine what you could do for your family. Imagine what you could do to serve in your community when you're like on fire in your wellness, in your performance. So don't let work falter, family falter, because you're not on top of your A game. That is what matters most. You matter most. So I hope you walked away going like, okay, my goal is to be well. My goal is to live long. So I get it. I'm going to take control now. So you can take a look into what our program entails for you. It is a 6-month concierge wellness program for women. And we may not be your people. You may have somebody else that's your people. But remember, you can't have one or the other. You can't just have accountability or coaching or just go get all of your results of testing. You need not an or approach, you need an and approach if you expect to truly live well and into that vitality and that longevity life that you're looking for. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys kind of get an understanding of why you need both and truly why now. So as always, love all of your support. It's so fun chatting here together with you guys. I would love to know your feedback. And anything more that you want to know about details, just let me know. I'll send them your way. The program is officially actually kicking off mid-May, which is right around the corner in a few weeks. So again, don't wait. All right, until next time.